YouTubers. I try not to make shit-faced rambling videos. I'm sorry if I offend anybody. I started making some notes, and I'm going to probably start off with the notes and then throw them out because I don't have, it just don't make sense. What inspired me to do this video was Backyard Knife Dude, the passing of his father. And the previous week, my next door neighbor that's been in the neighborhood 20 years or more, and his woman, Sherry, he passed away last week. Einstein tells us that energy converted to mass, E equals mc squared. That was the basic theory. There's been researchers that put people on hospital beds that are near death, ready to die, and at the moment they die, they lose 5 to 20 grams of energy, or maybe a little bit more. But what is that energy? That energy is your soul. No ifs, ands, or buts, or whatever. As a Christian, I believe you either go to heaven or hell, and you gotta face judgment and stand before. And you can't call in a defense attorney. I want William Kunstler that defended the Attica 39 to plead your case. It's just you and your sorry ass. Whew. Bob and Sherry that live next door had a kid, and they both worked in a nursing home, a healthcare facility. I assume that's where they met, but Sherry had a couple kids from a previous relationship, Star and Jasmine, and they created another beautiful, wonderful child, Maya. Graduated with honors from her class. She's going to Vassar. I mean, you don't know how things work. Long story short, he was suffering in a wheelchair on oxygen for the last few years of his life with arterial lateral sclerosis, Lou Gehrig's disease. And you know, one of the great neighbors, I enjoyed talking with him. He was a fellow Democrat like me. On a wall here, I got a picture or a Christmas card from Jimmy and Rosalind Carter, and above that there's one from Joe and Jill Biden. That's not the point. I got along with the guy good. The man loved his children. And the point of this video is death cannot break the bonds of love. And when I found out about it, I talked to the missus, and I got an earful. He wasn't a churchgoer, he was a party guy. But he was a good man. He loved those children. That's the bottom line in it's how you treat other people. she had a relationship with another man afterwards and had 2 children, Serenity and Trayvon. And Trayvon saw him by the side of his bed, or his bed, and he said he was real tall. And one of his stepchildren, Jasmine, was working on her computer and saw him in the reflection. Stuff was moving around in the house. His daughter's back for the next, his biological daughter's back for the next 2 weeks to console and comfort the family, and the missus saw his spirit over her bed at night. I mean, that life force goes on. You can't break the bonds of love. And her 2 previous, Jasmine was one of the previous children, and Star was another children. So there's 5 of the kids in the house, and 1 was his biological, but they were all his children. He loved them children. And how do you talk to the little boy, the youngest of the lot? I tried to explain to him, well, aren't you glad to see Uncle Bob out of the wheelchair, standing, breathing, walking around without his oxygen mask on? Whew. What inspired me to do this video was Backyard Knife Dude lost his father of 88 years. God bless his father. If I could be 88 years old and help my kid with projects and not have to go in a nursing home or have all that expensive high dollar care, wow, that's the way I want to go. Couldn't be more, well, I'd rather go in the arms of an old hag, but that's another story. But life and the Backyard Knife Dude made a good point. If you got any issues, resolve them. I mean, my wife has been gone 7 years. And while she was alive, her mother passed away from smoking cigarettes. And she passed away from smoking cigarettes. And my son passed away. Well, he didn't pass away yet. He's on the way to passing away from smoking cigarettes, but that's beside the point. There's a connection that can't be broken. In my house, I keep this up on the wall. This is a recipe for bun cake. My wife looked through that recipe box that she has twice, looking for the recipes to make that cake. And she couldn't find it. And she said, "Mom, please help me find the recipe." She went through it a 3rd time, and the recipe appeared. Go figure. How do you figure that happens? You can't break that love connection. As Christians, they tell us we're not supposed to talk to the dead. But if you love your children, wouldn't you want to communicate to them? I certainly would try. My father, I saw my father next to my bed, and I said, "Hey, Dad, you're dead." And he gave me a funny look. He didn't say anything. I've seen him in my dreams several times. He died at 66. My older brother died at 66, and I've seen him in my dreams several times. And I see my own wife in my dreams several times, and I talk to her, and it's kind of natural, like you're being there. So that's the whole point of this video, man. The love connection can't be broken. Heaven, hell, whatever. You want to let your loved ones know you're okay after you're gone, and that's all I got to say on that subject. Think about it, tubers. God bless you. Good night, and deal with your grief. And another 2 cents in there to Samurai Bird. Get healthy, get well. I've had shoulder repair from sliding down a side of the house with a ladder, and therapy's a tough road to walk. You just make a little progress at a time, just a fraction of an inch, but it'll get done. Good night, tubers.